Welcome to part 4 of our Halloween color along, which we've been working in Hannah Lynn's Enchanted Halloween. Now, I know we do have another Friday left, but this may very well be the last part because I don't think it's going to take that long to color everything, but I'm usually always wrong about that, so we'll see. So we have been working on Witch's Brew. This is what we've got done. We really don't have much left. We've got a couple baubles back here, the floor, and then mostly just her. I'm super excited to finish her. I'm unsure of the hair color, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to do her hat and clothes first, and then we'll maybe use some tracing paper to kind of figure it out. I'm still kind of torn between red hair or blonde. I'm leaning towards blonde for the simple reason because, again, we've got this large area of kind of like reddish color, so I don't know if putting red right next to that would be a good idea, but we'll kind of see. The first thing that I'm going to start with, let's just zoom in here, is I am going to burnish the cauldron. I don't really like the speckled look of it, so I want to get rid of that. So we're going to start there. I'm going to clean off my blender pencil, and I am kind of back-to-back recording. I just finished recording part 3, so I do already have my pieces of paper in to protect my page behind, so just make sure that you're protecting your pages. And let's come in. I'm going to start in at the top here and just burnish everything. Now, one trick that I find to burnishing is I have to turn this, I'm sorry. I don't go in straight off with like a super firm pressure. I like to build up on it because I feel like that kind of helps blend the colors together as well. Whereas if you just come in with a super heavy hand, you're just pushing the colors into where they already are. And you're not really blending them around very much, so kind of like to just work up on my pressure there. Trying not to muddy up the green glow we've got going on too much here. So I probably should not have colored in those spider webs. I was not thinking. I kind of forgot that I was undecided on the cauldron, so I kind of jumped the gun on that one, but I mean, we do have a whole extra hour if we need it, so that is nice. Okay, there is the top part burnished. I'm liking that so much better already. I'm going to try to save my spider web, so I'm just going to try and burnish the insides. It's going to be a pain in the butt, but do what we gotta do. The heat register is right underneath my desk, so every time it comes on, my feet get nice and warm, and I love it. My arm's already wanting to fall off. But I am liking it better already, I think. I clean off my pencil. We're gonna go into the lighter area a little bit here. Yep, liking that so much better in comparison. And I really think that we'll leave the wall as is, because I still have no interest in burnishing that. I'm happy with how it looks. Whew. Someone want to come do this for me? I'll try and remind myself to leave like some kind of stamp on the other video, the one where we colored the cauldron, to kind of let you guys know ahead of time that I did go ahead and burnish it, just to save you guys the time. So hopefully yours is already done. In which case you could just skip ahead if that's the case, unless you just want to hang out while I do this. It might take me 10 years, but just kidding. But yeah, I'm liking this so much better. Okay, it's done. Thank goodness. My hand hates me. Okay, that is one gorgeous cauldron. Before I forget, I'm just gonna touch up that spider web there because I kind of messed it up. But other than that, I think it looks good. So let's move on to the floor, which I'm gonna do in the same colors that we did this in. And we can also do the clouds on her hat at the same time. So just so we're not bouncing back up and forth, let's just do those clouds now. Did we use the... Okay, yeah, we did. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab the 70% cool gray. And I'm just gonna pop this on the bottom side of these clouds. Just a little touch of it. Bring it up a bit with 30%. I know we don't have much room, but we'll just do what we can. And then we'll just go over everything and completely burnish it with the 10%. There. Okay, so for the floor, I want it to appear like the floor is kind of going further back, because you know it technically would be. So we're going to start with the 70%. We're going to start fairly dark, and I think I'm going to color just this whole area in here. So kind of matched that up. And then we'll start fading it out here. So it's just going to be straight 70% back here. We could probably use the blender pencil too if we need to. But I'm going to try and use the pencil to kind of do all the burnishing for me. Okay, just like that. And then it's right around to here on this side. And then we're going to do the same thing. Actually, before we fully burnish this part, let's add a little bit of a shadow from the broom. So let's bring the black in here. Just gonna throw a little bit of the black in underneath the broom and kind of fade it out. It's not a whole much, or not a whole bunch, just really subtle, but it's there. Then we can go back in with our cool gray and burnish and blend that out. Okay, then we'll go in with our 30%. Blend this into our darker gray. You can bring it back all the way even. And I'm going to bring this out right around kind of like the tip of her hair and then start fading it out. Same thing with this side. I'm going to bring it out to about here, I think. Okay, and then we can finish it with the 10%. Apologies, my throat's bugging me a little bit today. I'm having a little bit of trouble with the grays on this paper. It's coming up like really smudgy looking, which I don't mind because it adds kind of like a neat texture, but I do want to try and get some even coverage just to make sure the colors all kind of match. And kind of the pain of this is, since it's an Amazon book, everybody's paper is probably going to be a little bit different because Amazon, I don't know if they still do, but I know back then they just kind of printed on whatever paper they had available, so it's not always on the same paper. Okay. There is the floor completely done. I do want to just grab our black again. You only have to do this if you have the same problem, but I kind of went over some of the cauldron with the grays and kind of grayed out that line, especially on this side. So I just want to go in with my black and kind of get rid of that. Keep the edge of that cauldron nice and dark. And then I also just realized that I forgot the handles on the cauldron, so I'm going to go in with my blender pencil and blend those out. Okay, let's move on to, I think, her hat, which I'm super excited and nervous for. Okay, let's grab our colors here for that. Let's do a base on it. So I want to go in with a base of the blush pink. And I'm just going to kind of order my colors from darkest to lightest. I'm going to do the very tip of the hat, still pink, and then just have it so part of it's wrapped instead of the whole base. I don't know why, I want to do it like that. You could have the wrap come all the way down to the bottom, but it's completely up to you. So let's come in with our darkest color, which is the dioxazine purple hue. And I've got a little bit of a conundrum here because I want to have it all along the side. But I also want this to be like darker than here. We might have to add black. I think we'll just do that. So we'll go in with the dioxazine first. Actually, let's kind of go in with no rhyme or reason here. Okay, I gotta look up a reference because I don't know what side of this I actually want to be darker. I gotta look up on the group and kind of see which ones speak to me. There. Let's see, which is Brew. Go into the album. Looks like most people actually kind of did both sides, and I actually don't mind that. Okay. So we'll do the same thing. I'm just going to make this side a little bit wider because we'll add black in here. And then I do want to darken up the very edges on these sides. So I want a good concentrated amount of this color. I'm thinking I should have done those gold too. We might have to pull our gold colors back out and do that. I like being able to take our time on a picture. I think we'll definitely make use of that last hour or two. Just a little bit over here too. There. Okay. So that's probably good for that. Let's go in with our black before we forget. So I'm just gonna pop a little bit of the black. Just kind of in on this side and behind these little things there. Folds in the fabric, that's what they're called. Okay, and then we can come in with our Indenthrone blue right after I drop it. I'm going to go in over top and bring this out a little bit. make sure it's got a really nice fade to it to blend our next color in, because we're gonna go pretty much straight from like blue tone to like pink. With having the dioxazine purple hue underneath our Enenthroned blue though, it gives the Enenthroned blue kind of like a purple hue to it. So it won't be too far-fetched, but just want everything to look a little bit cohesive. This is kind of a new combination. I've got one similar in my combination book that I'm kind of going off of, but I've never actually tried it out, so just kind of hope for the best. Okay. Now I was gonna go in with the dark purple, but I don't really know if I want to now. Let's maybe add just a little bit of dark purple here and there. I think there's good. It's a good amount, I think. And then we'll go in with our process red. This little bit here, I'm just going to color that right in. I don't like that at all. That is not blending like I wanted it to. Okay, just hold on here. Let's go back in with our Enenthroned blue. This is such a small area. Kind of figured it wouldn't blend properly like I wanted it to, but I was hoping it would. Let's add a little bit of darkness up here to kind of bring that crease up a little bit more. And then I'm just going to lightly go over this whole area with the Enenthroned blue, and hopefully that'll kind of help it blend better. And then just go over all of that with the process red, that way it all kind of looks cohesive. There we go, that's better. That is better. We'll use the blender pencil to burnish everything on this one as well, I think. It's another spot that's not really blending like I would like it to. So let's go back in with our In and Throne blue. If I can find it, there it is. Let's just lightly go over that. That way it's just not so noticeable. From there, we're going to move on to our next color, which is going to be the blush pink. And this will probably also be our last color, I think. I was originally going to add a white, but I don't think we really need to. Blend this in to some of these lighter areas as well. Okay, so we didn't use the white, that can go back there, and then we'll use our blender pencil to blend everything together. Is there something here? It looks like there was. Did I? Nope, I must have just... I don't know what that is. It looks like there was like a shape or something there that I covered up, but there isn't on the other one, so I'm going to assume that maybe the pencil just left a deep indentation there or something. I don't know. Okay, so this is another case where we're not gonna go in full pressure right away. We're gonna just play around, blend these colors a little bit before we burnish them. I'm gonna wipe all of that darker color off before we come into here. Okay, and then we can deepen up our pressure and fully burnish it. that is one magical hat, if I do say so myself. Ooh, and we're already at 40 minutes. Okay. So, let's move on to the clothes. I'm gonna come in with the darkest color first, which is not that one. Okay. So I'm gonna come in just kind of up on the top of all of these fabric folds here. This one we're gonna follow all along here, and then we'll go in on the top as well. And we'll go on the bottom for this side. Top on this one. Okay, so in on the inside of this little curly Q here, just lightly there. Not really sure how I want her hand here. I actually wish it was just arm instead of like gloved hands, but I think we'll just do it like a mix of the light pink and purple. Maybe we'll do that part after. Add a little bit of a shadow underneath where her chin is resting here. Fade that out. We also have the chartreuse in here too, so anywhere we get close to where the chartreuse is, we just gotta fade it lightly over top. That should be good for the Mediterranean blue. I think we are actually gonna skip the periwinkle. I don't think we need this one. I think we're gonna skip it. So we'll come in with the Blue Violet Lake instead. And then we're just gonna kind of bring this lightly up, fade it out. I want to keep this really light, so I don't want to add too much, but just enough to fill in the space between our shadow and where we'll have the highlight pretty much. I'm going to bring this out from the shadow. I'm going to save a highlight here. I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to save a highlight here. And then I'm going to kind of contour these shapes and leave highlights as well. Bring this down. I'm not going to bother with that necklace because there's not much room at all on there. It's going to be here and around in here. And then we can just kind of color in her top of her shirt there. And then we can come in with our sky blue light and just color it in. I'm just gonna lightly go over all of the black lines around this fabric too. Just to soften it up a little bit. Lightly fade this blue, just kind of in over top of the chartreuse. All right. And I think we're gonna leave her there. So that's what she's looking like so far. I think we should be able to get everything else done in an hour. If not, we'll just make the last part a little bit longer, but we really don't have much left. So we will finish everything off and then do the rest of the final details in the next part. As always, I hope you guys are enjoying, and I'll see you next time. Bye!